Hey everybody, this is Mike from TechSource, and I'm making this video to show you how to utilize artificial intelligence to create t-shirt designs and concepts for your customers. But more importantly, once you do that, how do we get those prepared for the screen printing process? Hey everybody, this video you're about to watch is from Production Art for Screen Printing Companies. This is a full course offered online through Teachable by TechSource and is available in the links below in the description. Don't forget to use SPM10 for 10% off of the course. Now, what I'm going to be using today is this program called Ideogram. It's a website, .ai. You can log in with a Google account, and this is a freebie account. I'll also be using my little docs application here. I'll show you how that's involved. And then I'm also going to be using Vectorizer.ai. Now, this is a subscription based. I think it's pretty cheap, like $10 a month or something like that. And as a screen printer, this is something that you'll use all the time, well worth the $10 and better than Illustrator's Vectorizing image trace program. That's just my opinion. I use this a lot. So back to ideogram. So the idea here is that AI has trouble with text. And even this one, you can see it updating as new ideas are being done on this website. But the idea with this is that the text is a little sketchy, but this one is pretty good. As far as if you put a prompt in here for text, usually you get some pretty good results or something that you can work with. You may have to edit some, but it's pretty good. And so you're kind of just seeing this explore page here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at some of the top things. And what we're looking for is, think in your mind vector. You're going to print separations out. This isn't high-end seps. You could use any of these for that type of high-end sep thing. But just for a standard basic vector, we want to look for t-shirt designs, or we want to look for some images that would lend themselves to a t-shirt design. And I'm doing this totally unscripted. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one right here because this has potential for a t-shirt design. Now, when you click on someone's, you're going to notice that it gives you some different prompts here, right? So with that being said, you can see that they're all a little bit different. So you can see how this right here, how they messed the who up here, but you could see you could have this as black, red, yellow, and then this green in the back here. I kind of like this prompt, but the idea here is that this prompt here was written by someone, and then they have what's called the magic prompt that it'll make and share with you. Now notice this copy button here. This is so you can copy the prompt. I know a lot of people get their feelings hurt when people copy their prompts, but this is what happens is for you to learn prompts, you have to understand how the prompts work. So I'm going to go ahead and hit copy on this prompt and then go to this new, I've named it T-shirt design prompts. This is just Google Docs, a part of my Gmail account. And I'm just going to paste that prompt in there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is jump back over to Ideogram, and I'm going to do a snapshot of this prompt here, just so I can see what it's going to look like. And I'm going to paste it back into the docs Let me scale this down some. Okay, so the idea here is like this has a certain style to it. And I want to be able to use this style for what I want it to do or say, right? So with that in mind, I'm going to copy this again and let's edit this prompt real quick. A striking, eye-catching t-shirt design featuring the bold block letters, "Just a boy who loves scooters." Okay? In red and white hues, the scooter motorcycle design is influenced by tribal art with vibrant desert elements such as cacti and the radiant setting sun surrounding it. The modern vector and contour style gives a design graphic feel set against a flat white background. Very important. That's going to be easy for us to extract vector. That allows the colors to stand out, creating a stylish and bold statement for a perfect t-shirt. Let's change it to do what we want. So I'm going to first, you see how this is in quotes? That's why you have this in quotes, or you have the text. So I'm going to put what I want in there. Let's just make up something on the spot. I'm not feeling really creative right now, but I'm going to put desert motor. I can't even spell right now. Cycle club. Okay, and then we're going to remove scooter from here, featuring bold block letters, tribal elements surrounding the modern vector. I want to get rid of anything that says scooter. The motorcycle design is influenced. Okay. Okay, I think I got everything out of there. Now we're just going to copy this and go back to ideogram. And then you're going to put this into the prompt here. And I'm going to leave this, see how this is a long skin? I'm going to go ahead and change this to 916 because this is a kind of a portrait format design. Now we could leave it to 1 by 1. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll change it up here. I've got magic prompt on auto because it's going to give me another prompt, but I'm just going to paste this in here and click on generate. And one thing to mention is that if you have a subscription, then you get priority on the design as far as being on the server. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at the different ones that it made for us. Very clean text. Man, this thing always continues to amaze me. So there we go here. That's beautiful. Kind of covering up the motorcycle here. But you see what I'm getting at here. You see how that's kind of messed up? Got some stuff going on here. Let's pick out this one right here. Is looking really nice. Now we've got a gradient to deal with here, but I'm going to take that as a challenge. So right now, as it stands, I'm just going to actually just do a snapshot. And jump right over to vectorizer.ai, and I'm going to paste. and hit OK. Now this does a stellar job at vectorizing any kind of raster image. And you'll see once it's done its job what I'll do to knock this down in colors. Okay, once it says it's done, then you go up to this palette here and we can get all kinds of shadings. So you see it's set on 17. That means it's got 17 different colors. A lot of this are these little gradients going in here and all these subtle grays. So start up here and just drift across. See right there, that's a 3-color, black, white, and red. Let's add in this gray if we shall. I like that it's getting rid of this gradient that I don't want to fool with at this point. Right there at 6 colors, you see it's introducing that other color in there. But somewhere between 4 and 5, maybe I'll keep those grays here. I'm going to go ahead and click 5 and hit OK. This is just another feature we have going on with this Vectorizer.ai. Okay, now we're ready to download. You can see the settings here. There are some things that are left in the file that I end up chasing out of there, but it's pretty easy. But you can note what these base settings are. So now I click download and immediately this file is right here. I'm going to open with Adobe Illustrator. Let me clean up my windows here, my workspace. And if we go to outline mode, you can see really clean vector. So at this point, I'm going to do stuff like use this direct selection tool and select the white, this outside white. And just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to print this on a white shirt. So I'm going to select all of the white by selecting the same fill color, and I'm going to ditch it. And now I'm going to do the same with other elements here. I selected this black. I'm going to select the same fill color, but this time I'm just going to add a layer and drag the black up there and then hide everything else. Now I'll grab this red color, select the same fill color, add a layer, drag it up, and hide. You see these little strokes here? That's what I don't want or need. So I'm going to select this kind of this charcoal gray effect. Same fill color, add a layer, hide. And then we have this other color of gray here. Let's zoom in here. The rest of these are actually just strokes, but this is another color of gray. Select the same fill color, add a layer, drag it up there, and now hide it. I don't need any of this, so we're just going to go ahead and delete this layer. and reveal the 4-color design that essentially you could print this out as it is right now. Of course, you'd want to change it to spot color or change each layer black, add registration marks, all of that that you want to do. So at this point, I actually want to select each one of these colors and group them first before I group them all together. Group, group. You see how when you click here, that just groups everything? I'm going to group, and then that other shade of gray, group. Now, I'm going to group all of them together, which will throw it on one layer. Okay, so we have multiple layers of groups here. I'm going to grab this group and copy it, and then go to a new, let's say that we're going to print this thing 10.5 wide or close to 11. Let's go with 11 by 17, shall we? Now we're going to paste this in here and use the transform menu to bring down the width of this to 10.75 inches. And this is going to be very important for this step here, is we want to align this on the canvas here, perfectly center, left to right, and up and down, okay? Because what we're going to do with these grays here is we're going to create halftones and add that to the black channel. I'm going to take this all the way. I'm not going to print it, but I'm going to get this to where it's ready to output, because it's one thing to show you this and leave you here, but it's another thing to go ahead and get this prepped. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we have everything grouped together here. One thing I'm going to do that's going to be a little trick I'm going to show you is add another layer, drop that down behind here, and I'm going to put a white box on this layer and make sure that it's bigger than your whole image. And then I'm going to align that perfectly, vertically and on the horizontal. Now if I go here and ungroup this one time, I should be able to go ahead and grab this red layer and bring this up by itself again. And I'm going to do the same with the black layer. And let's grab this dark kind of charcoal, drag it up. And now we have just this right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select on this here. And we're going to pick a color to color all of this that's just a percentage of black. Right here, you see. And remember, in screen printing, we have what we call as dot gain. So I'm probably going to pick lighter, knowing that the halftones are going to gain some and get darker on the press. So right here, it looks like 70%. It's probably a little high. I'm going to go clear down to 50% on this. So this chip is 50% black, okay? Let's get back out. I need to expand this toolbar here to include the advanced tools. Okay, remember that white box. There's a reason why I made that white box and put everything center, because now I'm going to select this 50% black and the white box and copy. And then we're going to flip to Photoshop and create a new file. We're going to leave it CMYK color, but we are going to set this to inches and to 300 and hit create, and now paste that in as pixels. Now for some reason we could have started in grayscale, but for some reason Photoshop, unless you paste this in as CMYK, it will mess with your halftone values, and I don't want that. I want to be able to go down here and read the 50% up in here. See, when I hover, 50%. And if we look at our channels, the only channel that has info in it is this black channel here. So if we turn the black channel off, it all disappears. The rest, no effect here. With that being said, if we flatten this, and you can make yourself a little action to do all of what I'm doing here, but after you flatten this, we're going to split channels. And the only one we need, see, we've got cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. The only one we need is the black. At this point, we're going to go ahead and switch it to bitmap, and we're going to leave this on halftone screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this 30 as the dot size, but switch to 22.5, and we're going to go with an ellipse for the dot shape and hit OK. And see what's happened here is now we have these dots that will simulate that gray when we print it black on the press. So now I'm just going to select all and copy, and we'll flip back over to Illustrator. And this is why I did that center, because I'll be able to easily place this back in where I need to. And I'm just going to drop an extra layer here, add one, and I'm going to paste. You see that? And now when I do my align, it's going to jump right back in the center of the document. Now if we bring this black in, you see how we've got that halftone going on in there? Yeah, it's going to be very nice. We're getting this extra shade right all on that screen. So let's go ahead and do the other gray like that. We've got that one done. Let me grab this out here so I can see this better. And then we have this one right here. That's very, very dark, almost like it's black, but we'll go ahead and add a halftone to it as well. So I've turned on this white box layer. I need to go ahead and select this whole layer here. And instead of, I'm going to go ahead and pick maybe 60% here. These shadows, they gain a lot. So this will just have a very subtle halftone. But same deal. We're going to select all, copy, and then in Photoshop, we can close all this out. I don't need this anymore. Go ahead and hit new. Make sure we're set to CMYK color, inches, 300, and then paste. And then we need to flatten this. And then split channels. Now we're on the black here. We can immediately go to image mode, bitmap, and then use the same settings as we did before. Select all, copy, flip back to Illustrator, and then I'm going to go ahead and hide this layer. That's my gray layer. That's my other halftone layer. I'm going to make it land with this other halftone layer. So I'm just going to paste and then align this as well. Now the other thing you want to do for sure is with both these halftones on here, you want to select both of them. Because these are bitmap, you can color them anything you want. You could halftone those red, but we want to halftone it this 100% black for this output here, right? And so now if we go to this black layer here, we need to do the same thing. Select this whole group, make sure that it is selected. Right now, it's made up in the CMYK space. Go ahead and switch it to 100% black. Looks like it didn't grab everything. Oh, because I had this selection, direct selection. I want to select this whole thing as a group. And now hit the 100% black. Okay, let's go up to the red. And we've got to do something with this red here. See, it's sitting in the CMYK space. So we're going to go ahead and add a color here, but define it as a spot color. And let's say this is 187 red spot. Okay. So now we have everything. This layer here. I mean, I'm going to ditch it, but you might want to save a Photoshop file with all that in there. But these old gray vectors I got rid of. And even this bottom layer with the extra white, don't need that anymore. So you can see what we've got. Got our halftones here. We've got a little darker one here. And if we use one of my favorite menus, which is the separations preview, we can check ourselves to make sure that when it's time to output this, then we're going to get the separations as expected. So if I hide the red, all the red should disappear. If I hide the black, all the black should disappear. That's how you know that your film seps are going to go to the rip correctly. Go ahead and if you don't have a postscript rip, go ahead and just color that whole thing black. And now print out your red sep and then print out your black sep. And you've got a two-color job. All done with AI. Now for the future, when you have your t-shirt design prompt here, since we changed this, the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and snapshot this and add it to my prompt list so I can see what happened when I moved that to motorcycle. So we'll go back over here and let's go ahead and paste this in. I'm just going to scale it down. Over time, you'll end up with a collection of these. And basically, you just keep looking for prompts that you like. And maybe you're not going to use it today, but you might say to yourself, like, hey, that would make a great t-shirt design, or I like that style. Maybe it's this. Maybe you like this style. So copy the prompt, add it to your list. This one here, definitely nice, clean, isolated background. Cut down the colors. This one's a nice one. Whatever style got you that, definitely printable. Even something like this. So build up your collection. And this is my favorite AI website to use. And you can see how quickly and easily we were able to create our separations using the methods with just ideogram and vectorizer.ai.